So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take some Untitled UI components. So this is from the Untitled UI library, and we're gonna add those to our page. We're gonna create a landing page, some simple landing page, and then we're gonna change all those sections, all those components, all the buttons, everything that we need to be customizable. And we're gonna change it into Webflow components. We're gonna use slots, we're gonna use some variables, but the idea here is to have a page that is easily customizable by someone who doesn't know Webflow, perhaps your marketing team, perhaps your sales team. You can share this project with them and they can easily change the exact information they need to change without affecting any of the original design, any of the code, any of the structure of the landing page itself. So let's have a look at how that's done without boring you with all this talk. Let's get to this. So first, we have to install the Untitled UI library. Now I already have that. As you can see here, I'm already playing around with it. So this is the Untitled UI library. You can go to browse more libraries and that's where you can install it from. Let's get this one. Now this comes with a lot of components, and now I say components because these are basically components, but it's different from Webflow's components. This component as in like it's something that is a component of a navbar, let's say, but then we can change it into a Webflow component, which makes it into this green thing that is a preset that can be reused across different pages, that can be customized with properties and so on. So first we're gonna add our page structure. So we're gonna wrap this in a div block. So that's page wrap, as we all want. Page wrap is the first one, and then inside it there will be another div that we're gonna add, and that will be page main or just main. If you want a main wrapper, however you want to name it, and then we give it the tag of main, and this will be our content. Now inside this I'm gonna add more layouts from the Untitled UI. So let's say we're gonna add a hero section, I like this one, and some feature section, perhaps headers, features, perhaps this one, and one more perhaps with cards, something with cards, they go with this one. And finally we'll get some, let's say a CTA section, yes, another testimonial section, perhaps some slider, so testimonial slider, this one. And finally I'm gonna add a footer to end the page. And that's basically it. Now I have my landing page, let's say. I have my navigation. I have my hero section, features, value, some logos, some card section. Perhaps this one needs a heading. Later on we can add that. And a CTA and then testimonial. Actually, let's put the CTA after the testimonial just for good practice. Okay, so now let's go to the next step, which is creating the components. Now we're gonna make this video as short as possible, so we're gonna simplify some of these stuff just to make sure that this video is components focused, components and their properties. Now if you guys need an explanation about a certain point, I'm happy to do a video for that. Just leave a comment in the comment section. But for now, let's continue with this. Now first thing, I'm just gonna remove this drop down. I'm gonna remove this link, and we are gonna make this navbar into a component. That's the first thing. What I'm gonna do is also I'm gonna delete these on the logo. Now there's a logo image. I'm gonna bring that back, and this will be the logo, and this will be the link in the logo, or that the logo has. And we can start with the logo. We can wrap this in I'm going to create a component, and this will be logo wrap. We have our first component. Now if we go inside here and we click on the image, we're going to set this image to be a property, and we're going to connect it to a property that we'll create, and this will be logo image. We create this, and now this is created here. We can also create a visibility, so the logo image visibility, and that's in case we want to hide that image. And now if you can see here, if I click on the component, I can hide the image or I can change it to something else. So that's easily done. Now I'm gonna continue and make the entire navbar into a component. So I'm gonna create a component, and this will be navbar And we can add groups. As you can see here, I was playing around some groups. You can add groups. You can add descriptions to the components now. So let's add this again. So this is navbar. Okay, navbar. And then we're going to call this group layout sections. And this is the name navbar. How we can create this. Now we're gonna customize some stuff, because imagining a marketing team taking this navbar and wanting to customize these links, the text in this button. So let's do that. Let's customize these elements. So first we're gonna select the text element here. We're gonna create a new element, and this will be link text, and then link one link. So this will be link one link. So we have two properties here, and then of course link one visibility, and we have those two properties. Now if you see here, if I go to the main nav again, let me bring this back here. Okay, so if I go to the main nav, I can see here the link one link, and link one visibility. Now I'm going to do the same for the second and the third link. So I'm going to speed up this part perhaps just to finish making those. So this will be link 2 visibility, link 2 and 1, link 3 text, and then link 3 link. And now I have the 3 of them. Now what I can see here, they're getting to be a little bit, crowded in this part. So what we can do now, thanks to the new feature from Webflow, is that we can group our properties. So we can perhaps go to this property, which is link 1, and we're going to group it in link 1. And now I have a group that's called link 1. So I'm going to bring all the link 1 stuff inside that group. So the link 1 text, link 1 link, and link 1 visibility. So you can see I have link 1. I'm going to do the same for link 2. So this is link 2, and then I go inside link 2 text, I bring it to that group. I go inside link 2 link, I bring it to that group. Finally, link 3 will have the group as well. So this is link 3, this will be part of link 3, this will be part of link 3. Now if I go out, I can see that I have them in groups now. I can collapse, expand, and of course I can reorganize them. Let's say I want link 1 to be first, right? So link 1, link 2, link 3, and we can organize them like that. This is very neat, looking very nice, and easily customizable. So now if I want to change this to say be about us, this is very easily changed from here without having to affect anything here. And that's the beauty of components. Now let's continue and let's create, let's say, this button. So as you can see here, I have 2 buttons, I think. Yeah, this one shows in tablet. Actually, let's delete it. We don't need it. Okay, so seeing this button, I was checking if this button is the main button. So this is UUI button, and this will be the main button that we're going to use. So let's create a component out of this, and I'll be reusing it across different pages. So let's create a component. Let's call this button. And we're going to group this in, let's say, global components. This is the primary button. Now we're going to add some properties. We're going to link the visibility property. So button visibility. I'm going to create this. The button link. I'm going to create this. And then we are going to select the text. Let's say button text. And create this. Now perhaps we can give text visibility, the V capsule. And now we have this, like let's say also we add a class just in case we want to customize the color or so on. So this is text class. And this is an extra thing that we're gonna add. Now this button is its own component. And as you can see, when I go to the navbar component, neither the button nor the logo that we set up in the beginning is showing up here in this list. And to make them show up, I'm going to have to link the navbar to those components. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the navbar and I'm going to go click on the component. Now I can see that I have the properties here, yet I see this purple icon, and that means these are connectable to the parent component, which is the navbar. So we're going to connect this one. It's going to be logo image visibility. And we're going to connect this one. It will be logo image. I'm going to create those. Now we're going to go back to our navbar. And as you can see now, I have those here. Let's stack them in a group. So these will be logo group, and this will be part of that group too. We can do the same for the button. So we could just go and click on button. We can see all the properties available that we can link. So we're going to link, let's say, the visibility here, visibility, and then the link, main button link, the text, main button text. And let's keep the visibility of the text. We're going to customize that later. And this is all I need for the navbar. Now, again, let's group those in a button property. So we go back to properties of the navbar and let's collapse this. Let's group this in button or main button. And this one goes to main button. All right, so I have all properties set up for the navbar. Now, as you can see, my navbar is a component that is easily customizable. So this is basically components in a nutshell. All right, so let's continue with section, the hero section, section 1, and let's turn this into a component. First thing, we're gonna turn the elements inside into a component. So I'm gonna start with this header section. So this is a content section that consists of a header, an H1, a spacer, and then this paragraph with the max width small, which is 30, and then spacer, and then this button row. First, let's have a look at the page, the rest of the page, and where we're going to use something like this. Now, title and paragraph and buttons. This is reused here, let's say. So here we have title, we have paragraph, we have buttons. Here we have title, paragraph, a button, and then we have title, paragraph. Here we have title, paragraph, and this section here. We have this logo. This is duplicated. Let's just remove that. All right, so let's go back to the hero section. What we can do is first create this content, and this can be a component. And we're going to call this global content, for example. This will be part of content. This is the main content component. And then maybe explain like heading, paragraph, buttons. Now let's create this. Now we can customize this just like we did the navbar. However, this is only in H1, and if we use this again somewhere else on the page, it's going to create a problem with SEO because there shouldn't be more than one H1 per page. So what we can do is that we can create this into a component, so the H1 can be in a component. So we can name this heading H1, and we can add a group called typography. This is H1. And I'm doing this because now that I created this as a component, this is H1 text, I can add a slot here inside this component where I can, I'll go to the main component, parent element, I'll click on add, and I can see now on my structure panel here, I can see a new element called slot, and I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna place this on the top. And then I'm gonna give it this heading, or I just call it heading slot. And basically this will go inside it here. So I'm gonna remove this, just copy the text. I'm gonna remove this H1. And what happens now is that I can add this H1 directly inside the slot. So if I go to my H1 here, I can drag it and add it here, and then change the text. Now, if I reuse this here, I can create another component for H2. And in this way, I can add my own H1, H2, H3, depending on what I need here. Now, this is a workaround. There might be better ways, but I think this is a very good way, a simple way. You can perhaps add the H1, H2, H3 inside the component and set the visibility to be customizable. That's another option. But this also gives like the flexibility of adding a heading, a title, or another paragraph. Maybe you want to add an image, or in this case, you have this tag, eyebrow type of thing. So this is also customizable. Now we can change this directly from here as well. So this is really good. And let's continue with creating a component for this one here. So this will be the paragraph. Actually, not a component. Let's create this as a property because it has a max width. It's set up as per this heading. So this is paragraph text. And here we'll have paragraph visibility. And for the sake of it not breaking, let's add these spacings here, or perhaps add the spacing. So this will have stop spacing and here, but if we add, so we can add this here. When we hide the buttons, so let's add this now, button row visibility. So now if we hide the button row, the spacing goes away with it. And if we hide the paragraph, unless we didn't do that, so this, let's connect this. So this is paragraph visibility, create this. As you can see, it has the proper spacing. If we had the buttons, the spacing of the buttons goes away. If we had the paragraph, the spacing of the paragraph goes away. So if we bring that, it's just title and buttons, it's the correct spacing that we need. And that's us controlling spacing. Now there are many ways to control spacings in a component, and you need to be in the lookout if this element or this part of the component hides what happens to the space above and below it. So you need to always have that in consideration. In our case, we have now our 3 components. Now we can customize further the buttons. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the component that is button that we just created earlier. And we can see this to be combo class of isButtonLarge. So we can do that. We can just copy this isButtonLarge and we can add it to the property that is class. And this is not changing it. Is it set up correctly? Let's check. So we have property. We don't have class here. So we have class here. So class, and this will be button style class. And then we'll copy this, we'll paste it here. And as you can see, it changed. And we're going to change the text to be chat to us. I'm going to delete this button. Now we have this button. And these buttons, they are components, they are the same, but we're adding extra stuff to it to make it look different and have different text. Of course, we can add different links, and that's how we customize this. Now, finally, I'm gonna create a component for this image. Now, in this case, this is a very extensive image with a lot of detailed bits of it. Now you can make a component that has all these as properties. So the team or whoever gets this can change each one picture, or you can simply create a big component of all of them and then you can easily change this image. Now what we can do is just create a component and we call this shapes component. We can create this in content perhaps. And this will be just preset, and we can use this inside a slot. So this is what we're gonna see how we can do that. So in this case, for example, this is the hero section. It's a grid of 2 columns and 1 row and has a gap of 4 rems. That's all the settings to it. So let's create this into a component, or perhaps let's create the entire section into a component. We can create component, we call this section hero, and this will be layout sections. And in section hero, I'm gonna use this to be slots. I'm gonna add 2 slots here. So these are slots inside the UUI header. And now if I go here, I can just bring in the components that I just created, which is global content was with the heading slot. Get the heading, and then we can get the shapes. So we have shapes right here. So now this is a section that is specific for this variant, for this instance. So we have the section with 2 slots inside. We added this as we wanted. This is not prefixed. So if I use section hero again here, I can easily delete these and have it just be plain, where I can add different type of content. And in this case, for example, if I want to add something like this, the problem, by the way, I need to mention this, you can only add the components inside slots. So to add this, I will need to turn it into a component. So this is like, let's say, logos grid, and then I can add it inside here. That's the way, because otherwise, if it's not a component, as you can see, let's try to drag this here, it doesn't go. Or if I try to add something here, it doesn't add. It says only components are allowed in a slot. Now this is as far as this video goes. Maybe in the future they will release an update where this is going to be available, but for now it's just set like this. Now I'm going to continue making this page into components based, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description to the clonable, so you can clone it and use it on your own. You can inspect it, you can see how this was done, but that's basically it. I'm just gonna repeat the process that I did here on all the sections here. Perhaps we can make another video later on components, and if there are any new updates that come out on components, I would love to make another video. Components are really powerful. I'm using them a lot, so there's a lot to learn here and a lot of use cases that can be done, a lot of examples that we can share. So components are definitely gonna be a topic that we're gonna touch back upon. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of content, do subscribe to this channel. Like this video if you're enjoying the pace or the flow of the video, the information that you're getting, and do drop by for the next one, which is gonna be tomorrow. See you then.